Months ago, Alex Bowman couldn't even drive a race car. Recovery protocols. And the very real question of whether the number 48 Hendrick Motorsports driver would ever return to the level he was racing at before. Then, this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway, Alex Bowman didn't just return to NASCAR. He finished third. His season-best result. He pushed his teammate Chase Elliott to victory lane on the final restart. And what he just proved at the Vertigo 400 is the most inspirational comeback story of the entire 2026 NASCAR season. And what comes next for Alex Bowman might just shock everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what Alex Bowman just accomplished at Texas is the kind of story you don't want to miss. Now let's break down exactly how this comeback unfolded and why it changes everything for Hendrick Motorsports going forward. But before we get to the third-place finish, you need to understand exactly how serious Alex Bowman's Vertigo battle really was. Because this wasn't a minor setback. This wasn't a couple weeks off. This was the kind of medical condition that ends careers. And what he had to overcome to get back behind the wheel will absolutely shock you. Alex Bowman has been a Hendrick Motorsports staple for years. The number 48 Chevrolet driver. A multi-time Cup Series race winner. A consistent top 10 contender. The kind of driver every championship team wants in their stable. But earlier in the 2026 season, Bowman started experiencing symptoms that no race car driver wants to hear. Vertigo. The medical condition where your sense of balance and spatial orientation becomes severely compromised. For most people, vertigo is uncomfortable, but manageable. For a NASCAR driver, someone who needs to process G-forces, track position, mirror data, and split-second decisions all simultaneously while wheeling a 3,400-pound race car at over 180 miles per hour. Vertigo isn't just inconvenient. It's career-ending. Bowman missed multiple races. The Hendrick Motorsports organization had to bring in substitute drivers. The points he didn't accumulate piled up. And the question that kept floating around the garage was simple. Would Alex Bowman ever come back to compete at the level he was at before? But here's what nobody saw coming. Because the way Alex Bowman approached his recovery wasn't typical. There was a specific medical protocol and a specific mental approach that turned this comeback from a long shot into reality. Once you understand what he went through to get back, you'll understand why this third-place finish at Texas is so much more than just a top 10 result. When Alex Bowman finally returned to Cup Series competition, the racing community held its breath. The first race back. The second race back. Each weekend was a new test, not just of his racing ability, but of whether his body could handle the physical demands of Cup Series competition without symptoms returning. The early returns were promising but not spectacular. Bowman was running. He was finishing races, but he wasn't yet competing at the front of the field. That's typical for any driver coming back from a medical layoff. The car has to feel right again. The reflexes have to recalibrate. The confidence has to be rebuilt, one lap at a time. By the time Texas Motor Speedway rolled around, Alex Bowman was on his third race back. 3 races. That's all the seat time he had to prepare for what would become the defining moment of his comeback. At Texas this weekend, Alex Bowman showed up ready. Qualified 9th. The number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet had speed from the opening laps. Through the early stages, Bowman ran consistently inside the top 10. He just kept doing the simple things right lap after lap. And as the race progressed, something started shifting. The number 48 was getting faster. The pit stops were getting cleaner. The strategy calls were paying off. By the time the race entered its final stretch, Alex Bowman wasn't just competitive, he was a real contender for a top 5 finish. Then came the final restart. Because what happened on that final restart didn't just put Alex Bowman in third place. It was the moment that proved his comeback was real. And the role he played in his teammate Chase Elliott's victory is the part of this story that nobody is talking about. With 4 laps remaining at the Vertigo 400, the 7th and final caution had bunched the field back together. Chase Elliott was leading. Denny Hamlin was second. And lined up directly behind Elliott in the position that would prove decisive was teammate Alex Bowman. When the green flag waved, Bowman did exactly what a great teammate does. He pushed. He drafted. He gave Chase Elliott the run he needed coming off turn 2. And the push from Alex Bowman was the difference. Elliott cleared Hamlin. Hamlin had no answer. The number 9 Chevrolet pulled away. And the number 48 Alex Bowman followed his teammate to a 1-3 Hendrick Motorsports finish. After the race, Chase Elliott specifically credited his teammate, telling reporters, quote, "Fortunately, Alex gave me a great push, was able to execute turns 1 and 2, get clear, and then just kind of manage the last few laps. That push wasn't just teamwork. That was Alex Bowman proving he could execute under maximum pressure on a race-winning restart, after everything he had been through medically, after the Vertigo battle, after the missed races, after the doubts. He was right there, doing what champion-level drivers do." Alex Bowman's third-place finish at Texas was his season-best result of 2026. Third place, behind only the winner, Chase Elliott, and runner-up Denny Hamlin, in a race that featured every championship-caliber driver in the field. In a race where the points leader Tyler Reddick finished 4th, Bowman beat Reddick to the line. He beat Chris Buescher. He beat Daniel Suarez. He beat the pole winner Carson Hocevar. And he did it just 3 races into his return from a medical condition that could have ended his entire career. But here's the part of this story that should genuinely terrify the rest of the NASCAR field. Because what Alex Bowman just demonstrated at Texas isn't a one-time miracle. It's a baseline. And what he can build from this performance going forward is the part that nobody in the garage wants to talk about. Alex Bowman has now established a foundation. 3 races back, third-place finish. That's a driver telling the entire NASCAR community that he is fully back at the elite level. And from this point forward, every race becomes an opportunity to build on that foundation. The Hendrick Motorsports machine is firing on all cylinders. The team has now won 3 races in 2026. Chase Elliott's 2 wins plus a William Byron victory earlier this year. They have the most talented driver lineup in the sport. They have championship pedigree. And now they have Alex Bowman fully recovered and racing at his peak. The playoff implications are massive. But here's the thing about the modern NASCAR playoff format. A single win punches your ticket. Just one win. And after the way Alex Bowman raced at Texas, that win is no longer a question of if. It's a question of when. Now, let's talk about what this means for the rest of the field. Because Alex Bowman isn't just a comeback story. He's a real championship threat. The Hendrick Motorsports equipment is dominant right now. Chase Elliott has 2 wins. William Byron has a win. The organization is hitting its stride. Adding Bowman back to the lineup at his pre-Vertigo level means Hendrick Motorsports now has 4 legitimate weekly contenders. Tyler Reddick at 23XI Racing is leading the championship by 109 points. But every week that Hendrick puts multiple cars in the top 10 is another week the gap closes. Another week the pressure on Reddick intensifies. Another week the championship math gets tighter. And there's one final detail from Alex Bowman's Texas weekend that completely captures what this comeback really means. Something that happened in the moments after the checkered flag waved that should make every NASCAR fan stop and pay attention. After Alex Bowman climbed out of the number 48 Chevrolet in 3rd place, his reaction said everything. No big celebration, no dramatic emotional outburst, just a quiet, focused acknowledgement of a job well done. The kind of reaction you see from a driver who isn't satisfied with 3rd. A driver who knows he could have won, who knows he will win, and who is already thinking about the next race. That's the mindset of a champion. That's the mindset of a driver who refuses to be defined by a medical setback. And that's the mindset that turned what could have been a career-ending Vertigo battle into one of the most inspiring comeback stories of the entire 2026 NASCAR season. Alex Bowman didn't just come back to NASCAR. He came back better, stronger, more focused. And the rest of the Cup Series has been put on notice. The number 48 Chevrolet is back. The doubts have been silenced. And whatever comes next for Alex Bowman, you can bet he's going to handle it the same way he handled Texas, with quiet, focused, championship-level execution. What do you think? Can Alex Bowman make the playoffs after his Vertigo layoff? Was his push for Chase Elliott the move of the race? And which Hendrick Motorsports driver do you think wins the championship? Bowman, Elliott, Larson, or Byron? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video on screen right now, where we break down Corey Heim's stunning near miss at Texas. Trust me, that story has a twist you won't see coming.